Alright, here is my interview. So tell me, why you chose MATC for your education? Well, I feel that I chose MATC because of the value that it offered in terms of the amount of money compared to like a four-year school. Um, when I chose to come to MATC, I really didn't have a lot of money, still don't, and so that was a big decision, and that was a big influencer in that decision. And I still feel that it's a great value because I feel I learned a lot and I saved a lot of money by going here rather than a four-year school. What factors did you consider when choosing your major? Well, when I chose my major, um, I went through a lot of different majors that I thought maybe I was interested in or whatever, and what I did was I looked at the classes that had to be taken and see if I had any interest in those classes, and I looked at the outcomes that you could get in terms of what types of jobs you'd be qualified for once you got done with school. And after I evaluated, a few different um choices, I decided that marketing was the best fit for me. What has been your greatest educational challenge and why? I would say that the greatest challenge to my education would have to be working during attending school, because when you're working a lot of hours a week and trying to go to school, it's it's not easy, and sometimes your school is more important than your work because you have big projects to do or whatever, and then you might fall behind on your in work, or might not care about that as much, and sometimes your work is more important, if you're short of money or whatever, and then your school kind of takes a back seat, and it's hard to balance the two and give each other the equal time that they want. So I think that working during school was the biggest challenge that I had. Tell me about one project that you completed that is particularly relevant to this position. I would say that the project that comes to mind would be my marketing plan for marketing management, and I would say that because it was just a totally inclusive project where we basically learned everything from start to finish for how a marketing plan would be written and what you need to do in a business in order to get that out there. And I think that experience is unbelievably important in preparing a person for the job, for the work world, and I think it'll be very valuable when it comes to the future. Uh, what is the favorite part of your current job, and what aspects do you least like, and why? I would say my favorite part would be um, the relationships that I've developed at my job. You know, I get to see some people every day. I see some people maybe once a week, some people maybe every other week, and it's fun, and I enjoy, you know, getting to know people and figuring out their likes, their interests, and just forming a better and better relationship with people, and trying to get to know everybody at least a little bit. Some people obviously better than others, but I think that building relationships is a big thing in life, and especially in a sales position or marketing, you have to have a relationship and trust with your clients, and I think that that's very important when it comes to that. And what aspect do you like the least? I would say the fact that my job is quite repetitive. You know, similar or same things, day in and day out, and it never really changes a whole lot. Sometimes you get a curveball thrown at you, but a lot of times it's just, kind of the same thing, pretty predictable, pretty plannable. And what I would like to see, in a job would be to be able to have a little a little change of pace once in a while, you know, different projects or different things that would kind of keep you interested, keep you involved, make you start over, use the tools that you've learned and everything. I think that'd be ideal. How do you go about solving problems? Well, generally, when a problem arises, like at work, we'll say, um, what I try and do is I try and think of, okay, say we go about it this way, you know, what ramifications will that lead to? What will be the pluses? What will be the minuses of the decision? And try to think of it, you know, several ways as a whole picture, not just, okay, this is easiest for now, let's do it, and then okay, in 2 weeks that really comes back to bite you. You know, you got to think about those things down the road too, and try to really think of what's the best overall way to do it, even if it involves having to have a little more work involved or whatever. Can you describe your ideal supervisor? I would say an ideal supervisor would be someone that can prove to you that they have your back. Uh, you know, if you are doing your job as best you can and somebody comes down on you, they're going to step up and say, hey, he's doing what he's supposed to do. You know, that's what they're supposed to do in this and that. Or either that or someone who isn't afraid to do what they're telling someone else. They wouldn't do something that they wouldn't make others do what something that they wouldn't do. So, you know, someone that's just not going out there calling the shots blindly, not really knowing what it's all about. Someone that would actually go out there and do it too, or that knows what it entails, the task that they ask you to do. So I think that'd be ideal. What work experience has been most valuable to you and why? I would say that my most valuable work experience would be probably the long hours that I put in. Um, in the summertime, like right now, I might work 11, 12-hour days, 6 days a week, and you know that kind of wears on you after a while. But it kind of teaches you work ethic, and it makes you appreciate the little things, I guess you could say. And I think that having worked those long hours and knowing what that's like, I think that in the road that's down the road it's going to help me because I'm not afraid to work and I can do it and I know I can, and I think that's very valuable. What types of people do you find most difficult to work with? I would say the most difficult type of person is the person that doesn't believe in themselves, doesn't think that they can make a decision. They want to leave it up to rely on everybody else, because those people, well, I mean, they could get an order for something that is totally unfeasible and still try and do it instead of, you know, maybe going to the boss or something and saying, hey, this isn't going to work and we got to do something about it. They're just gonna do it because they don't know how to get around it, I guess, and I find that frustrating, especially in my job. um, which job responsibilities that you have had would translate directly into this position? I'd say I've represented Car Valley Cheese at a few trade shows in the past, and um, that's helped me quite a bit, I think, in terms of like sales. You know, getting the rough idea of what it's like to get out there and meet people and do things in like a business to business world, and I think that will really help me in the future.